When I get high on speed. Number 12, pissy calls a drug for me. My heart, kickstart my heart. Always got Denny chasing after me. Custom built Ford doing 203. My heart, kickstart my heart. Ooh, are you ready, Riley? Ooh, are you ready now? Oh,
Yeah!
kickstart my heart, give it a start. Whoa,
Yeah!
Blaney! Whoa,
Yeah!
kickstart my heart, give it a shot start. Whoa,
Yeah!
Blaney! Yeah! Like it?
I think that might be the best one we've ever done. That was good. I like that. Go.
Got a crick in my neck.
Pocono this weekend. Last weekend was a hell of a show. I mean, best race I've ever seen.
You're the only one then.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Wasn't terrible. I mean, it was a decent enough race. I feel like I've been saying that a bunch the past couple weeks. You know, first probably 8 weeks of the season or so, most of the races were really good. But we've been in that kind of dog days of summer stretch, which is usually what happens when these several tracks pop up on the schedule. You know, New Hampshire, Pocono, tracks like that when they pop up this time of year is usually when you kind of get your snooze fests. And I wouldn't necessarily consider Pocono a snooze fest. There was some interesting parts of the race, but there was no like side-by-side, you know, battles for the lead or anything like that ever happened. I don't think the leader got passed on track once. Pretty much if you restarted in the lead, as long as you didn't fuck up turn one, you were going to get out a 2-3 second lead. I mean, even Chris Buescher, like we were talking about, did not have the fastest car by any means, but he pulled Blaney out to about 3 second lead at one part of the race. Brad, which he probably had a top 5 car, he had a good lead at one point before that last caution before all the melee at the end started happening. He was leading before all that. So, yeah, I mean, it was pretty much whoever had the lead at the end was going to win the race. Nobody was going to get ran down, which I think Chase Elliott probably had the best car. You know, he had a pit road speeding penalty that kind of got him mired back, but he ended up working his way up okay.
Still finished ninth. Yeah,
throughout the field. I mean, he came from, you know, tail end of the longest line and worked his way up. Now he had some caution help that helped him out there, but still, the last. I wish the melee towards the end didn't happen with Corey LaJoie and all that, and some of those wrecks didn't happen. I wish, but you know,
then it would have been fuel mileage.
And the reason I'm saying that I wish it ended up being a fuel mileage race is because I think
Chris wasn't good. He needed those cautions. Brad,
I don't think so. I think so.
Well, Chris said
at one
we
point,
need some cautions. We're 3 laps short after the pit stop.
At one point, yes,
because he was leading because he took 2 tires to get the lead.
I get
Blaney.
that, but if it stays green there, he may not win the race, but he'd get a better finish than where he finished. And once Brad took the lead, if the cautions don't come out, I think Brad's got a chance to win that race. So on one hand, I'm kind of disappointed that didn't happen because I think Brad had a top 5 car. And then on the other hand, Blaney won, so I really don't care.
Blaney!
Exactly. But racing on track was probably a 5 out of 10. It wasn't, you know, nothing to write home about. Wasn't the worst race I've ever seen. Some of the restarts were pretty fun. There were some 3 wide battles there, you know, for a couple laps at the restarts. And, yeah, I mean, it was a Pocono race. I mean, it looked like every Pocono race I've ever seen. So that's just the type of racing Pocono puts on, and I'm not mad at it. I every now and again that race, you need a race like that. So it is what it is. But like I said, 5 out of 10. Blaney winning is good. Hamlin being my pick, I kind of wish he won the race so I could get those 2 points. But I think we're tied now anyway, so don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
There ain't no comeback no more.
So
Even Steven.
All in all, it was a good race weekend for me. Chris Buescher gained some points on the cut line, and yeah, it's especially with Ross having a bad day. Doesn't look like I'm going to be shaving my head this year, so.
It's more of a likely possibility that I'll be shaving my head than you will be right now. For people that don't know, we made a bet before the year started. If Ross wins the championship, for me, because that's who I picked to win the championship, then Riley has to shave his head. And if an RFK car just makes the Final Four, then I have to shave my head.
And it's
Brad's the problem. Brad is worrying the fuck out of me right now with that thing.
I think Brad's a dark horse to win the championship.
Oh, yeah, if he makes it there. But at that point, I don't give a fuck no more. My head's gone anyway. My head's gone.
Just cut my head off.
Guillotine right then and there.
Well, what'd you think about Pocono?
Yeah, it was... So I really enjoyed the race, and it seems like I'm kind of in the minority when it comes to that. I know all of my guys ran good, and that definitely matters, but I really enjoyed the strategy at Pocono, and a whole bunch of different times to pit. You had Chris, decide not to take as much fuel and getting the lead out from Blaney, but then, being close on fuel towards the end, and then, Denny and Chase staying out for stage points, and then pitting at the end of the stage, but giving up the track position, and then trying to, stay on pit road the least amount on that last stop because they had pitted a couple laps after the caution, so they're good, better on fuel than the other guys, trying to get that track position back. And then the pit road stuff, and the finish was kind of anticlimactic, but I enjoyed it. I give it an 8 out of 10. If Blaney doesn't win that race, it's probably a 7. Like, I'd bump it up 1 point from a 7 to an 8 because Blaney won. But Chase was fast. Like I said, I think Chase, like you said, Chase probably had the best car. Him and Hamlin probably were the best 2 cars. And we never really got to see those 2 guys battle. Now, we could have at the end if Chase doesn't get caught for speeding on that last pit stop with 40-something to go. He would have restarted, I think, 3rd or 4th. I think Hamlin would have restarted right there beside him or whatever. So it would have been interesting to see. Now, Larson, I think, won the race off pit road, and he got caught for speeding as well. So, but I never really thought Larson had the best car, but we never really thought Blaney had the best car either all day. But he got that track position late, so, who knows if Larson doesn't get caught speeding right there. He might be able to hold off Blaney and win the race anyways. But Larson was kind of the not the slowest Hendrick car, but he was not the fastest. I think Chase was faster. I think Bowman was faster than Larson all day, and him and Byron, the 5 and 24 that we mostly think about are normally the faster Hendrick cars. They were the slowest 2 Hendrick cars. Byron was okay, but he wasn't great. I think he got a good finish. I think he finished 4th or something, but he never really had.
He ran like 12th all day.
Yeah, I don't 12th. He ran like 8th all day, so it was kind of a different sight to see. The 5 not be the fastest Hendrick car.
It was like 2020. All over again.
2021 even. Yeah. 2022. So I hate that Chase missed the opportunity to where he probably had the fastest car he's had in a long time. He won that race at Texas, but he didn't really have the fastest car. He had like a 5th place car. Didn't really have race winning speed, but the strategy worked out for him at Texas, and he was able to get a good restarts. And Hamlin stepping on his own dick late in the race, helped Chase win that race too. But Chase legitimately had winning speed, and that's something we have rarely seen out of that 9 car. And I just kind of hate that they shot themselves in the foot late in this race because I think Chase definitely could have had a shot to win this race.
I think Chase would have won the race if he didn't speed on pit road.
Yeah, it would have been tight between him and Hamlin and Blaney and stuff. So, and Larson, it would have been a hell of a battle. Didn't quite get to see that, But I really enjoyed it. All my guys were fast. Chris was fast. He was probably the slowest out of my guys, but he was even fast. I mean, he had probably had a top 10 car. The strategy didn't work out quite as well as they were hoping. Blaney obviously wins the race. Had a top 5 car. Chase might have the best car. So it's a good day for me, man. I enjoy those races because it's rare nowadays that you have all your guys be that fast.
Yeah.
So I know it's biased coming from me, but I really enjoyed the race. It's one of my favorite Pocono races I can remember. And, Denny didn't put nobody in the wall. He did beat Martin Truex Jr., so fuck Denny Hamlin for that. But,
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't have really no gripes with Denny Hamlin this year at Pocono.
Well, I'll say this. I was driving home from work yesterday. This morning, really. But I was driving home, and I was thinking about, like, I feel like I might be taking for granted what's going on right now. Because every week, Brad Keselowski and Chris Buescher have a chance to win the race. Every week. And it wasn't that long ago where I was happy with the top 15. And it's now that I'm disappointed with a 6th.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm disappointed with a 6th and an 11th, I think it was, is what they finished. So it's a great time to be a Roush Fenway Keselowski fan. We just got done saying, Brad's got an outside chance of winning the championship this year. I mean, I'm not saying he's the favorite by any means, but it would not surprise me if he was in the top 4 going into Phoenix. And once you're there, anything can happen. So
hell, he finished top 5 in the spring, right?
Yeah, Chris finished second. So
Chris finished second. Brad finished like
fifth.
Or,
So they definitely have opportunities to win this championship. Both of them do, as long as Chris makes it in. If he could quit getting caught up in people's and both of them really started the year off bad. Daytona wasn't great for them.
I think Brad was last in points after Atlanta, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, because they both wrecked at Atlanta. They both wrecked it.
No, Chris didn't wreck it to Atlanta.
Yeah, he did.
Brad did.
Well, he got pushed into the wall by the 22.
Yeah, but I don't think it ended his day.
It didn't, but he wasn't fast anymore.
There's like 11th, I think, still though.
Anyway, what I'm saying is whenever like I said, 3 years ago, Chris finishing 11th would have been the highlight of the year. When it was, the first year of the him being over there, or even past that. I mean, Trevor Bayne and the Ricky Stenhouse days were rough. So, and then the Newman and Stenhouse days were not much better. So, it's a good time to be an RFK fan. It's a good time to be a NASCAR fan. Like I said, when these races, which I think this is on the lower end of the quality of races as far as ovals go this year. There were a few that were worse than this.
You all right?
Heartburn's kicking my ass. There were a few that were worse than this. There were a few that were better than this. But, I would say that this was on, the lower end of the average. When this is a bad race per se, comparatively, it's been a good year. And, I'm excited for the next couple races. I think Indy this week is going to be very fun to watch, even if it's not a great race, which, to be honest, I'm not expecting it will be. But we've got some good tracks coming up. Looking good for NASCAR going forward. But hopefully one of my boys make the Final Four, so you have to shave that head.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get why if you're not a Blaney fan or a Chase fan or anything like that, RFK fan, you probably didn't really enjoy this race that much. If you're an RCR fan, I know you didn't enjoy this race. But, you just don't have races like that play out like that where at some point one of your guys looks like they have a chance to win the race. All of them do. And, I think I texted you about right after that last caution with Gillen, after I said they're probably going to get a caution here right when the fuel window opens. And sure enough, Gillen, I think he loses a brake rotor or something, hits the wall and causes the caution to come out. And I said, I really don't know what I want right here. You got Chris leading. You got Blaney in second. But then you got Chase, who's faster, than both of them, he's trying to make his way back up through the field because he pitted later. What the fuck do I want to happen right here? I text you. I said, I don't know what the fuck I want to happen. So that's always a good problem to have, and rarely do you have those problems in modern day NASCAR. So I said I enjoyed it, but I get why people really didn't enjoy it. But that's Pocono. I mean, if you expected a barn burner at Pocono, I mean, you clearly don't know Pocono because that's really never been the track to give you great racing. We've had great finishes, controversial finishes the past several years, but as far as the racing product goes, Pocono's never been a track to where people say, hey, if you want to watch side-by-side beating and banging racing, go watch Pocono. Like, it's just never been in the cards at that track. But still thought it was a great race, and I enjoyed it, and it's always good when one of your guys wins.